Hello, guys. Hello. I hope you are all fine. Welcome to today's live stream. And before I begin, can anybody tell me whether? Yeah, thank you, Abhijit Sharma. First, bro, thank you for your huge support. Let me quickly change the thumbnail of this video so that um, you know we could wait for more people to come in. Okay, so the thumbnail has been changed, guys. So today's um today's theme will not be about uh Miochi. I hope she's doing well. Today's theme will be about the Indo-Israeli uh relations. The recent Nadav Lapid who went to the Indian Film Festival in Goa and said those nasty things. Let's talk about that. And today's stream would be about you know I don't know if you know this Israeli YouTuber Abhijit Sharma. Hi, क्या हाल है? सब ठीक है अभिजीत? Thank you for joining. Today's theme is obviously going to be about one of you know are Indians and Israeli really brothers? That's the question, because of all the negative publicity that we got in the previous so, in the previous stream, right? The negative publicity that we got, I mean Israel got from Indians especially. So as you can see from my community post here, um 61% of you guys have voted for Israel Nadav Lapid Kashmir Files controversy. हाय मेयर जी की तो लॉटरी लगे 150 सब. यस, आई मीन लगनी थी. लेटर एंजॉय. So let's see here. Israel Nadav Lapid Kashmir Files controversy. Let's talk about this, right? 61% of you have voted for this, right? I have my own view about this for those of you who are not familiar with what happened. Um, Apparently, Nadav Lapid, an Israeli filmmaker, apparently comes to India in front of Indians, all right, in front of Indians. He says, guess what? The Kashmir Files is a vulgar propaganda movie. So, yeah, right. So you have this guy. I don't occasionally open the Wire's website, but still. So you have this guy who goes on India's International Film Festival. He's invited as a judge and jury. He's the head of a jury, right? And on stage with our information, oh no, broadcasting minister Anurag ji, he goes onto stage and says that Kashmir Files is a propaganda. It is vulgar, right? This is the thing he has said, and obviously it has hurt the sentiments of many people, right? So in return to this, Israeli ambassador now Gilon, he tweeted a whole bunch of things, right? He said that this is not the fault of Israeli government. You have come. So see, an open letter, right? He says this a whole bunch of things, right? He says this, right? In Indian culture, they say that guest is like God. You have abused in the worst way the blah 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 blah. So basically, he's trying to be very apologetic for what has happened, right? Okay, fine. His reaction to whatever Nadav Lapid has said, right? He is very apologetic, right? And then I have come across this video by this woman uh, who claims to be whose entire channel is based on reactions to India basically, and she reacted to one of the video by Abhijit Chavda sir. I hope you know who is Abhijit Chavda, right? So so today we are going to react to whatever she is saying. But I really want to listen to and understand what an average Israeli uh, wants to say. A very fair point. I think I watched till part two, right? And I decided to make a live stream video about this because I really want, this video is to all the Indians out there who love Israel, right? Who say, oh, Israel and Indians are brothers, etc., etc. This is an eye opener. Uh, this is an eye opener to all the Indians who say, oh, Israelis are like our brothers. So, fair point. I was also like one of those people who said, oh, Israeli are like our brothers, we are very tight friends. But in geopolitical scenario, right, it is not like that. So, let's look at what she's trying to say, right? Let's look at what she's trying to say.
Before we even start this, let me,
I have the
because
audio is
I
coming.
know for sure that no matter what I do, my words are going to be twisted out of context. So before I begin this, let me put on the record what my feelings about Israel are. Right. So first of all, let me put on the record that I have a great amount of admiration and respect for Israel and the Israeli people. I mean, what's not there? What's not
Okay, so Abhijit sir begins by saying that he has tremendous respect for Israeli people.
not to admire and respect
Okay.
them about, right? First of all, why do I admire Israel and the Israeli people? First of all, they have succeeded in overcoming the incredible atrocity of the Holocaust. Yes.
Other things happen to us other than the Holocaust. Also, when a person is saying something like this, like people will twist my word, blah, 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 I'm kind of like scared to hear what he has to say because that sounds like, don't twist my word, I love this and that, and then he's, saying the worst things. So let's just wait and see.
Okay, yeah, fair point. Fair point. To anybody who watched Game of Thrones, I think we all understand the remark by Lannister. Everything before the sentence "but" is BS. So I can understand where she's coming from, right?
Which happened during the Second World War in Europe, which was done by the Nazis. Yes, they were able to overcome that at great expense, personal expense. Yeah, so many Jews were murdered. It was a genocide, and the Israelis, the Jewish people, they started afresh in a new place.
Okay, really annoying because every time I'm telling you guys, yes, the Holocaust happened and that was terrible. However, bad things happen to people also outside of Europe. When people were in Arab countries and stuff, things really, really bad also happening to them. So just to talk about the Holocaust as, you know, Holocaust and then Israel, this is not what actually happened.
Promised land, the ancient promised land, the ancient land of Israel, right?
Yep.
So one must admire them for that, and one admires them not just for that, but and not just for surviving in this place, but also thriving in a very bad neighborhood. Look at the kind of neighbors Israel has. They have not just survived; they have thrived there despite incredible odds, despite multiple major wars and multiple major conflicts since 1947. They have always been under siege. They have been surrounded by enemies, and yet they have thrived there, not just survived. And they have exhibited strong leadership, tough leadership, firm leadership. One must respect them for cherishing and reviving their culture. They have been drifting around for nearly 2,000 years, ever since the Romans took over, Israel, that region. Yeah, so they have cherished their culture. They have revived their culture. They have pride in their culture. They revived the Hebrew language. It's something India is still struggling with. What is the Indian civilization language? We have been unable to revive Sanskrit. Yeah, and the Israelis have been able to do that. So one admires.
This is one thing I'm always telling you guys. If you really care about your history and about your culture, actually study it. With all due respect for you, all of you needs to be an engineers and stuff. Also become a teacher and educate other people about your own history.
Yeah, she is true. What she's saying is absolutely correct. Indians are incredibly stupid when it comes to their own culture, when it comes to their own history, and it's just the education of India, right? A whole lot of Indian history is, let's be very honest, whitewashed. So in a way, she is correct, I guess. But it's changing. It's slowly changing. Abhijit sir, a renowned historian. We all should follow Abhijit sir. He's a renowned physicist also. So it's slowly changing. That one is really good.
Admires and respects them for that, and obviously I admire and respect them for excelling in so many different fields, in so many
Yeah, so let me begin by saying, yeah, I also admire the Israelis. They have done a whole lot of things, right? They've done a whole lot of things.
different domains, in technology, in information technologies,
Okay, thank you. Now,
in the military
what
domain,
you
I'm just waiting for now. She knows that the but is coming, right? But
about to
strategy,
say.
in agriculture, in commerce, even in tourism. They've established themselves as a great tourism hub. It's a nation of entrepreneurs. It's a nation of very high standards. Israelis have a great amount of chutzpah, of tachles. They have this attitude.
Okay, tachles, not tachles.
okay, I'm just gonna skip here because she gets on what is khales. I don't care.
However, to you new thing, you guys,
Let's get to the gritty part. Okay, let's get to the actual subject of why I'm actually live streaming here, because we don't want to waste time here.
just like I don't know what this about. You apologize anyway.
Important geopolitical, geostrategic relationships.
Oh, here we go with
India
this.
and Israel have a lot of things in common. I mean, we are collaborating and cooperating in the fields of security, in cybersecurity, in technology, information technology, in the military domain. We are developing various weapon systems together, like the Barak 8 missile system. In geopolitics and geostrategy, our interests are in a significant amount of alignment. Yes, in India and Israel are collaborating in agriculture, in commerce, and lots of Israelis come as tourists to India. Indians also go as tourists to Israel. So we have
Not
a
as
very
much.
strong relationship, a very important relationship, and I am obviously very strongly in favor of robust.
Okay, skip.
Now let's talk about what happened.
Okay, so let's talk about what happened.
So let's
Hi, Light Yakami. Hi, dude. Thanks for joining, dude.
put that on the screen now.
I hope you have had your lunch. I mean, dinner. This is going to be a long stream.
So this is something that happened.
Just to give a context on what is happening, guys. As you can understand why we are here from the very title, right? Are Indians really brothers with Israel, right? Let's analyze today, right? I hope you understand what happened with Nadav Lapid, right? So let's see. Let's go on with the video. I was the one who commented you saved it yesterday. Thanks, dude. I need not save India's dignity, dude. India is a 10,000-year-old civilization. I'm just a speck of a dust, right? India is a huge civilization. I will not be there in the next, hopefully, or not over the next 70, 80 years, hopefully. India will always remain. So
On this Monday.
Oh, he's talking about Nadav Lapid. I already made a video I feel an apology video about this because I and the rest of the Israeli people really don't respect him. We actually have a weird.
So, just to give you a context, what is happening, right? An Israeli guy, a filmmaker who is invited to India, he comes over into the International Film Festival in Goa, goes on stage with Anurag ji, who is our broadcasting minister, and says Kashmir Files is a propaganda and vulgar. And obviously, the entire Indians, especially, there are some Israeli loving people who say, oh, Israel are our brothers. They got triggered, right? They got triggered and they started sending these messages, these kind of messages, right? These kind of messages to the Israeli ambassador to India. You can read from this very questionable message, right? And of course, um, um, Israeli ambassador also reiterated that this he has written a huge long thread about this, right? I want you guys to read this if you want right now. I have posted the link there. So he says in Indian culture, they say that a guest is like God. You have abused in the worst way the Indian invitation to chair the panel of judges at IFFI Goa, which is the International Film Festival at Goa, as well as the trust, respect, and warm hospitality that have been bestowed on you. So blah blah blah. He says, I understand your need to respect your justify your behavior. I can't understand why you told blah blah blah. So it's a huge long apology, right? If quite evidently you invite an Israeli, just imagine. I mean, just imagine, my dear Indians, an Israeli film festival happens, let's say in Tel Aviv, right? An Indian goes there. He's invited as a judge and jury. An Indian goes into Israel in Tel Aviv, and then on stage he says the Jewish Holocaust never happened. What will happen then? Tell me, chat, what will happen then? This guy, he comes to India in front of our minister, in front of everybody, in front of international media. He says Kashmir Files is vulgar. He says vulgar, it propagates certain ideology. Basically, he's saying that whatever happened in Kashmir in 1991 with Kashmiri Hindus, it did not happen, right? So, Light Yagami, that this is in relation to uh, what we are doing a stream is that Abhijit Chavda sir, he has said this thing about Israeli and Indian love and brotherhood. Some of the Indians who say that, oh, Israel are our brothers. We are brothers. We are long lost brothers. Israel and India are friends forever. So Abhijit Chavda sir, he made a video saying that Israel and India are not really brothers because geopolitics does not work in that way. So he made a video, and this Israeli girl is reacting to this video. And in this video, Abhijit sir is talking about the recent happenings, what happened with Nadav Lapid, what happened with this guy, right? So she's reacting to this video, and she said some pretty wonderful things, right? So I'm just reacting to that, right? She said some very objectionable things. Let me clarify, and I'm just putting my take on what is happening. So that is what is happening. I hope you understood. Guys on drugs. Have you read your comment? Was it posted under your video? What comment are you talking about, Jay? I don't know. Let's see.
For Israel.
Where was I?
Conversation about this with my friend, and when I asked
So I hope
them,
everybody
like, do you
got the
know who that
context.
person is, and everyone said,
Lightagami says, how do you know they are like not from India? They're just making theories like you do distance from India and Israel. Okay. Let's not jump into conclusions, Light. Let's see what she's trying to say, okay? Let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
oh, I don't know, I heard he's an idiot. Like, that's the only thing my friend have said. But after that, we talked about it, and we saw how much he's destroying not only Israel, but also apparently now India. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about this guy. That is it.
Okay, so she's basically apologizing for whatever the Nadav Lapid guy has said in India, right? Okay, fine. Very fair.
Um, uh, there was this film festival in Goa, in India,
Mm.
in which this person called Nadav Lapid was invited. He was the head of the international jury of this film festival, the International Film Festival of India in Goa, IFFI jury. So Nadav Lapid was invited, and he was made the head, the chief of the IFFI international jury. And in his capacity as chief, he made certain comments about an Indian movie, the Kashmir Files. He called it. He said that this is a propaganda movie. It is vulgar, and when you say that something is propaganda, you're saying that it's lies. So the historical events, the events depicted in the movie are lies, right? He said it was vulgar propaganda and so on and so forth. He made certain very crude, not crude, but unfortunate remarks, and he made these remarks in the
Cruel.
presence of senior Indian minister, high-ranking Indian minister, Mr. Anurag Thakur, the Minister of Information and Broadcasting, and also in the presence of Mr. Naor Gilon, the ambassador of Israel to India and Sri Lanka. Yeah. So this happened on November 29. Yes, and in response, Mr. Naor Gilon put out a tweet thread, a response. But first of all, we have to understand that one cannot blame the Israelis for what happened. I mean, the Israeli government and the Israeli people did not decide to send Naor Gilon to India and appoint him as the chief or the head of the jury. It was the Indian government that invited this person.
So yeah, who invited Nadav Lapid, right? A quick Google search of Nadav Lapid. If you have done a quick Google search of Nadav Lapid, he's a leftist Israeli hating guy, right? So our Indian broadcasting minister, whoever was conducting the Indian Film Festival, they invited this guy. So it's not the Israeli people's fault that we have invited certain characters into International Film Festival in Goa, and he made certain comments that did not go down well with Indians, right?
And a simple Google search could tell you what kind of background and antecedents this person has. He is, well, what you could call in India, the term is anti-national. He is an Israeli anti-national. He supports the Palestinian cause, and he is anti-Israel. He is very critical about Israel's policies, and is critical of the Israeli government and the direction Israel is taking. So it was very clear what kind of political ideology and background he has, what we call the left liberal ideology, yes. And so it was very clear. A simple cursory search online, a background check, could have told the government of India what kind of person this gentleman is like. Apparently, it was not done, or maybe it was done and still he was invited, and not only invited, but put on the jury and made the head of the jury. It is extremely disappointing.
Well, honestly, you know what? Based on what he said right now, that this is the government, and I'm not. I don't think your government didn't do a Google search on him. I think they knew exactly what is happening. Right now, a lot of people in the world talking about the Kashmir files because what he said. So I think that was a really smart, strategic thing to do, to invite a person.
Strategic thing. Guys, do you really think that Anurag Thakurji and the entire bureaucrat came together and said, you know what, let's invite this guy, this leftist Israeli, and let's hope that he speaks negatively about Kashmir files? This is the same Indian government who could not stop the Shaheen Bagh riots. Okay, this is the same Indian government. Shaheen Bagh, they blocked the roads, right? I hope all of you remembered in 2020. You know who broke the Shaheen Bagh blockade? COVID-19. COVID-19 broke Shaheen Bagh, Shaheen Bagh blockade. And the government of India still did not learn its lesson. In again 2021, so-called farmers, I call them so-called farmers because these are a bunch of zamindars, they come in and block our highways, right? So government of India still did not learn, right? In 2020, Supreme Court of India has said that you cannot block roads, period. It is not a form of protest. And she's here telling Indian government thought so far ahead. No, I'm a very proud Indian, but no, Indian government does not think through this thing.
That his opinions.
Light Yagami, yes, girl is also on drugs. Let's listen. Let's listen to what she has to say.
And still let him be in the public eye and give him a lot of respect, and then let him say whatever he think should be said That's pretty genius of you. I'll give you that. If
Indian government is genius. Okay, next joke.
that's really what happened, that was a genius move, India. Like no publicity, like no such
Okay,
thing.
okay, skip.
If you're
The governments, the Israeli people, like we're still like I felt like you saw several videos of Israeli people apologizing to the nation of India about what he said. Like
Several videos of Israeli people apologizing to India. Chat, have you seen such videos? Like I was on Twitter the whole time searching for Israeli videos, Israeli people to, you know, say sorry. Have you seen such videos?
for us, that was not something that we thought that will hurt our relationship. Because bottom line, I thought you guys, that the people who are actually my friends, the people I talk to here in the
Okay, skip.
so one has to place the responsibility at his doorstep. So I'm not saying he is to blame, but it is at
Jay
the end of the
Kumar,
day his
yeah,
responsibility.
Mr.
And at the
Ankur,
end of the day,
yes.
it's the Prime
Tell me.
Minister's responsibility when something
Light
goes wrong for
Dekabhi
somebody as
na.
well.
Yeah.
So I think the Indian government has messed up very badly, and no matter how much criticism you give them, it's less, because this sort of thing should never have happened. The due diligence was not done. If it was done, then it was suppressed, and this person was still made the head of the jury. And then he went ahead and did.
Yeah, Plazy learns. Why do you think our wonderful Babus invited this Israeli guy? It's called validation, right? They want validation from the leftist. And I'm 100% betting you they knew that this guy was a leftist Israeli who hates Israel, and they still invited him, right? That is the genius of the Indian government and the Babus.
What he did. Huge failure. Very disappointing. So whoever is, I mean, I'm sure lots of people are criticizing the Indian government
Yeah, Jay Kumar, sure, bro. Why not?
for this, and the criticism is well deserved. Now let's go to what the Israeli ambassador said. So first of all, yeah, that's what this person Navid.
The most annoying thing is after that, when people ask him about that and show him proofs and stuff, he just said like he still support whatever he said. Nadav Lapid. This is why I'm like so angry with him. Like
I mean, of course, Nadav Lapid is not going to backtrack. He has a certain ideology and he's following that certain ideology, right? So, I don't expect any sort of apology from this guy.
people showed him proofs. This is just like how I asked you about the Kashmir files. Was it like, is it true? Is it a
भाई कनिष्क कुमार वो खुद एंटी इजराइल है भाई, इसलिए वो ऐसा कारनामे करता रहता है.
documentary? Is it like not a documentary? And then you explained to me that the director actually spoke with a lot of Kashmir survivors, which is like really, really important. And still, after all that information, the fact that he didn't apologize and continue saying and calling it a bad thing, that was like too much for me.
Lapid. That's what Nadav Lapid said about the movie. And then he went ahead and said that the film has fascist features. That's what he said.
I mean, let's be very clear, okay? I'm a very freedom of speech kind of guy, right? You can say whatever you want, and of course you cannot simply go to theater and shout fire, right? Certain restrictions, there should be certain restrictions, but we should not be the judge. The court should decide on what kind of free speech, right? But as an Indian, I see, if in the world scenario, if you say the Jewish Holocaust never happened, people will automatically assume that you're a bigot, right? You're a white supremacist, you're a bigot, right? Here in India, because nobody knows about what happened in Kashmir, they're getting away with this, right? So that is a problem, and I think Kashmir Files and all of this debacle really portray the light on. So that is one positive thing that I'm taking from this event.
Later. And then he also said that I stand behind every word I said about Kashmir Files. Nadav Lapid, he said this to various Indian journalists, right? That's what happened.
He just loved the publicity. Seriously, he works in the media. I already said that. Like, every time a person works in the media, be very, very careful of what he is saying, because most of the things he is saying is just to try to.
Okay, so part one was pretty, I don't know, not interesting, right? Let's listen to what part two. So the magic of this reaction, like why I'm wasting my Sunday night reacting to some Israeli girl talking about India, right? Because she has gems, in quote unquote mark gems about India, right? So I'm just want to, react to that. Let's see.
So now the Israeli ambassador put out this big rebuttal on Twitter, this Twitter thread. So let's just quickly read
Oh
it out.
yeah,
It's
I
not
read
very
that.
long, and let's understand what he is saying here. Open letter to Nadav Lapid following his criticism of the movie. It's not in Hebrew because I wanted our Indian brothers and sisters to be able to understand. It's also relatively long, so I'll give you the bottom line.
So it's pretty basic stuff. I hope for those of you who are joining right now, this is what he said. So I'm just gonna skip over these things, right? Abhijit Chavda sir, he said all of these things, right? So we are going to be analyzing what Abhijit sir says after this, right? After about this
It's
incident.
here to open everyone's eyes.
Right? It's going to affect our bottom line. It's going to affect our profit. I mean, the popularity of Israel in India. It's said over here. Yes. Then he refers to unspecified.
Yeah. Please, she made 3 videos. Yes.
The ambassador refers to unspecified historical events. Yeah, he talks about that. He says that it's an open wound, but he refrains from referring to and recognizing these events as a genocide. So he doesn't say that.
Okay, I know you said that like people will twist your words and this and why you say it. First of all, that you love Israel, but you're twisting his words right now. You want him to say the words you want him to say, but just read what he says. Don't immediately say, "Oh, he didn't say I support this and this, so I don't like you anymore." Like this is weird. You cannot say that other people twist in your words and to try to twist the ambassador words. But okay, let's.
Okay. I just want to pause this video here because diplomacy may when it comes to diplomacy, right? You have 100 people working behind you as PR relations firm, right? Every word, every sentence is carefully drafted, right? It's carefully drafted. They know the first order effects, what will happen if we publish this, what will happen if we publish that. So whatever Mr. Naor Gilon has published here, right? This tweet, it has been carefully written by a whole bunch of people. It might be his account, right? And the final draft would have come to him, and he would have simply read that draft and analyzed it, and then say, yeah, let's post this, right? So you have to really look at what the ambassador is trying to say, right? So that is what Abhijit sir is saying.
And then he says that I'm hurt as a son of a Holocaust survivor. I'm hurt that some people in India are reacting by doubting the events of the movie Schindler's List and by doubting whether the Holocaust happened or not. And he's unequivocally condemning such statements made by Indians. He's saying there is no justification for such statements made by Indians. And then he says that the Kashmir issue is sensitive. Yeah. So essentially, the Israeli ambassador is calling out Nadav Lapid for being a bad guest. He's saying your behavior has been bad. Your behavior was ungracious. He does not. The Israeli ambassador does not refute Nadav Lapid's claim that the movie was propaganda. The Israeli
You try to put words in his mouth.
Really, do you think Nadav Lapid's words? I mean, Naur Gillon he never said anything about Kashmir files, right? He just said Nadav Lapid is bad guest and all that, but he never recognized the Kashmir genocide, right? He never said anything about Kashmir genocide, right? So I don't know what she's referring to here. Like she's saying that Abhijit sir is twisting Israeli ambassador's words. I don't think so.
You clearly read it and didn't understand the tachlis of what he says.
ambassador says that the Kashmir issue is a sensitive issue, but
So he used the word sensitive, right? Kashmir, Kashmiri files, Kashmiri genocide is a sensitive issue, right? It's a sensitive issue. It's like me telling Holocaust is a very sensitive issue, right?
he does not recognize or deny India's assertion that Kashmir is an integral part of India.
Yes, yes. I mean, if you read his entire tweets, which I've read many times, he never recognizes that Kashmir belongs to India. Right? Never once he says these things. Right? He never recognizes that. He never says that Kashmir genocide happened. And this is what Abhijit sir is saying, right?
Right? So understand
Wrong.
what the Israeli ambassador is saying and what he is not saying. He is calling out Nadav Lapid for his behavior, but he is not refuting Nadav Lapid's claim that
Jay Kumar, she's just some random Israeli girl who, in her own words, try to make connections with India, and this is one of the most uh, this is one of the videos of her that made me question her motives, right? So, and that's why I'm reacting to this on a Sunday.
the film was propaganda. He is condemning various Indian reactions on Twitter and social media that are doubting Schindler's List and the Holocaust, and so on and so forth.
He's comparing what we've been through to what you're being through, and we're saying this is a problem and we can identify because we suffered the same thing.
Is it though? Is that what your ambassador said? Really? I don't think so. Nothing in his tweets said that. He says that Kashmir is a sensitive issue. Sensitive, right? He says it is a sensitive issue. He does not recognize the Kashmiri genocide. He does not recognize Kashmir is even a part of India. So I don't know what you're trying to say here.
I know you want it to be black on white. I support this, I against that. However, read the tachlis of what he said. Don't expect us to say the words you want us to say in the right order you want us to say.
What? I don't understand. What does it take for the ambassador to say we recognize the Kashmiri genocide? It should never have happened, and Nadav Lapid should apologize. Instead of writing all of this crap that he has written, I don't know how many, seven tweets, I would have summarized it like this. Israel recognizes the Kashmir genocide. Israel recognizes that Kashmir belongs to India, and Nadav Lapid should apologize. Israeli people and Israeli government does not stand with the views of Nadav Lapid. Period. That's it. That is one tweet, and this guy, he posts some 6-7 tweets. Chat, right? Am I wrong here? Like I haven't, I'm not an ambassador or anything, but this would have summarized in just one tweet instead of writing all of this. What is this? Like, are you trying to, I don't know, what is this, 7 tweets?
Listen.
And here she's saying takles means get to the point. Apparently in Israel you need 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 tweets to get to the point, according to that one Israeli girl. Brilliant.
To what we said.
And he is not recognizing or
Now wait, chat. She has some wonderful things to say in part 3 and part 4 also. Just hang on. The kind of wisdom that comes out from her video. It मुझे आरती लेके I should worship her, because that's the kind of wisdom that she gives, sarcastically speaking.
denying India's assertion that Kashmir is an integral part of India, and he is not recognizing what happened in Kashmir and the event of the Kashmir Files movie as genocide. Understand this. Right?
No, you understand that.
Here is the problem, Jay. Are we though? Is Israel, are Israel and India brothers though? The entire time. Okay, let's get to the, let's discuss this at the end, right? Let's discuss this. Let's complete this.
What did he said about that movie?
Yeah, she made 4 parts.
Did he say that is propaganda? No. Did he criticize the person who said that propaganda and did not take back everything he said? Yes, in a long thread. You can understand exactly his point. And Israel and Pakistan don't have your geopolitical.
Okay. So here is the classic bait and switch, right? Here is a classic. This is the same tactic Russia uses on India, right? oh, you're doing so much, you're being very close to United States. You know what, let me become friends with Pakistan, let's see then what happens. So she's playing the same tactic, right? Let's give Pakistan as an example. Like, let's listen to what she says.
person, you know that Israel and Pakistan doesn't really work together. So you can clearly see where we stand, and you can clearly see where he's saying, like where Naoli is saying and what he's standing. But like, you're trying to get to a point where I'm confused at what you're trying to get here, and what your point is. What's the takhles of what you're doing here? But that
I don't know what point she's getting. I clearly understood Abhijit Sir's point. Abhijit Sir said that Israel does not recognize the Kashmir genocide. Israel does not recognize that Kashmir belongs to India. That's it. That is his 2 points. I understood. I don't know why she's not able to understand that.
that brings like a big red flag. But just like,
Yeah, I could say the same thing. It's a big red flag on this girl also, right?
I got it all wrong.
This is how diplomacy works, and this is the Israeli position. You can see the Israeli position in this Twitter thread. Now, you just saw it. Here is something that happened the very next day. So please understand.
Okay, so you want him to
Okay, now she's going to give a very good example, right? Let's listen to her example now.
say, I support Kashmir be part of India. However, you have an ambassador in the territory of Palestine, a place that you know that was just like that supposed to belong to Israel, and that people die here every day because of that. What if you're saying don't let like people else should not put words in my mouth, don't try to do the exact same thing. That is
What? She's saying India has an ambassador in Palestine, and Palestine is supposed to belong to Israel, apparently. And then she's saying, I'm so confused.
is so wrong.
That there is something called the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. It's
Yeah, and if you want to know more about Palestine, check out my main in the channel
No, Jay, she's a grown woman.
in my main channel.
I think, I don't know her age.
I'll check out the for and learn
this is an event, a day that is organized by the United Nations itself. It's a UN organized
छोटी बच्ची हो गया. Jay.
observance. So November 29 is the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. On the occasion of that day, which happened to be the very next day after this person's comments. So on the next day, the Indian embassy in Palestine put out this tweet message of the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, on the occasion of the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. And there's a message, in which India says that we have India's ties with the friendly people of Palestine are rooted in our common history. We have always supported the Palestinian people in their pursuit of economic and social development with dignity and self-reliance. We are hopeful that direct talks between the Palestinian and Israeli sides will resume to find a comprehensive and negotiated solution, and so on and so forth, like I love to say.
That's nice. How about now we're going to change the word Palestine to Pakistan, and Israel to, change the word Palestine to Kashmir, change the word Israel to Pakistan, and just like let's play a little with the word.
Yes, the entire world has been playing with that. United States have been playing that, Pakistan, India since 1947, and Russia is also playing that Pakistan, India since 1947. And here she's trying to act as if, it doesn't happen, right? It only happens to Israel, right? I mean, I don't know what she's trying to get at here, right? Just because we have an embassy in Palestine, we are pro-Palestinians, apparently.
Words, and then you will be annoyed because apparently when other countries acknowledge that Pakistan and Kashmir is maybe supposed to be together, then it bothers you, right?
No, right? United States have this consistent stand that Kashmir is a disputed region. They don't they don't give entire Kashmir to Pakistan or anybody, right? It literally has dotted lines in between POK and India, and supposed so-called Azad Kashmir, which is again Pakistani occupied Kashmir in India, right? So if you look at the US maps also, it shows a dotted line. That means it is disputed. So I don't know what she's trying to say here. And it's not as if, we look at the United States and say, oh, you're having wonderful relationships with Pakistan, so I'm not going to be friends with you. No, United States have been supporting Pakistan since 1960s, I guess, right? 1971, they sent an aircraft carrier, a nuclear aircraft carrier, Task Force 44 or whatever, to help Pakistan. Today, we are members of Quad. So, diplomacy does not work the way you work. She's trying to imply that just because we have a embassy in Palestine, Israel is free to do whatever the hell it wants, apparently. That is her conclusion. That's a very childish conclusion. That one is really girl.
And you don't understand why it's bothering us when we say those people came here when they occupied this land in the 7th century. You're supporting a nation that was created and invented here in, I don't know, in the 60s, 50s, 60s, something like this.
Guess what? A lot of states, a lot of countries in the whole world also recognizes Pakistan that was invented in 1947. All right. We all have embassies in all of these countries who recognizes Pakistan. So I don't know what you're trying to say here.
What are you doing?
Yes, apparently, yes, Jay. US has been supporting Pakistan since 1947. I don't know. And we have good relations now with the US, right? Even now, in recently, I think US supplied F-16 parts to to Pakistan, right? We did not do a tantrum. Oh, you're friends with Pakistan, so you're not friends with India. Like, no, it's diplomacy. Every country will have relations based on their mutual interests. All right, and that is the entire point of my video right now.
I don't understand, and also I don't understand how is that related to the title of the video. But like everything I'm seeing here right now is it's hypocritical. Seriously, that's just like everything that this is right now is just like geopolitical, hypocritical thing.
Is it though? Is it hypocritical?
So over here, India says that we support the Palestinian people in their pursuit of economic and social development with dignity and self-reliance. India is not saying in this statement that we support the freedom of Palestine.
The second that you say Palestine and not Israel, and you calling them Palestinian, you, and not Arabs, by the way, you are saying exactly that you support that. The second
What? The moment I say Palestine, that means I automatically support the Palestinians. Jay, are you able to understand her logic?
when you acknowledge Palestine, you said that you support Palestine. This is not putting words in your mouth. This is
Okay, the United States is the United States is the biggest ally of Israel. What do you think, chat? Does United States recognize Palestine? It's a big yes. United States recognizes Palestine. So I don't know what she's trying to imply by saying, oh, India has an embassy. Guess what? 135, 160 odd countries have their embassies in Palestine. All right.
actually doing something. You have an ambassador in Palestine.
So does 160 other countries have ambassadors in Palestine. Jesus, man.
What do you think that stands for? If you don't,
It stands for having diplomatic relations with another country. That does not necessarily mean, I mean, we have embassy in Pakistan. So according to her logic, we are pro-Pakistani. Right, Jay? Right, Blazy? We have embassy in China. So according to her logic, we are pro-Chinese.
say that you believe in Palestine. Why do you have an ambassador there? What's the picture? Why is it says the embassy of like why do you have an embassy there? Why?
Because India since 1946 have supported two-state relations. India has supported two-state theory. One is Israel, which belongs to the Jews, and the other state of Palestine, which belongs to the Arabs. This is the India's stand that has not changed since 1947.
Is it because you support Palestine but you
Yeah, exactly, Jay. We have an embassy in Beijing. That doesn't mean that we are pro-Chinese. Oh my God.
don't want to say it out loud? Actions speak louder than words, and you just did a really, really important action that people saw.
I do agree. Action speaks louder than words. Because I want to show this, right? I want to show this. Chat. You know what this is? That's a J-10 aircraft, fighter jet aircraft, right? And do you know what is this? This is a Israeli Lavi fighter jet which is based on F-16 that was created by Israel in 1980s, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. During 1980s, this design was created. And this was a copy of F-16 fighter jet with Israeli designs, right? Why do you think that this jet and this jet, don't they look very similar? Chinese J-10 jet, this Chengdu Chinese J-10 jet and Israeli Lavi jet. Guess what? Guess what? After United States got to know that Israel has manufactured this 1986 in 1986 a fighter jet which is equivalent to F-16, they arm twisted Israel and they cancelled the program. See, the Israeli cabinet's late stage cancellation of the program by 12 to 11 vote. So that means this fighter jet of Israel, which is probably more superior to F-16 at that time in 1980s, got cancelled. You know who got the designs of this fighter jet? Guess what, chat? Who got the designs? Drum roll. China. China got the designs of the fighter jet of Israeli technology. Here you can see clearly if I just type in China, right? China has clearly got this technology from Israel. They might have sold it in black, I don't know, right? And they created this fighter jet J-10. Now, anybody who is following military and military news, Air Force news, whatever, who operates Chengdu J-10? Any guess? Who do you think operates? Let's click on the operator. Pakistan. Pakistan is now operating 36 J-10 fighter jets. So, in essence, if you can see this lovely map, here you have China, who got the technology from Israel via black or whatever after United States arm twisted Israel to stop Israeli Lavi fighter jet, this fighter jet. Then China sells after creating that to Pakistan. Now, who is Pakistan's number one enemy? Any guess? Any guess? Huh? Israeli girl, any guess? Who is Pakistan's number one enemy? So indirectly, Israel has funded, not only funded, has given military plans and have funded a freaking fighter jet that is now in the hands of Pakistan. This is the sweet, sweet diplomacy that Israel conducts when it comes to India, right? And we have to bend over backwards because, according to her logic, just because we say Palestine, we are automatically pro-Palestinians, apparently.
So don't try to do this.
Yes, Jay Kumar, yes, in a way, Israel is supporting indirectly our arch enemy. And it's because of the United States, Israel does not supply all the missile technology that it has. It does try to supply it very secretly, like it has done with the Lavi here. But the United States is still the predominant, predominant power over Israel, right? So United States arm twisted Israel and said, usually you will not sell any technology to China. That is why Israel is not selling any technology to China, not out of love for India. Let's be very clear.
Weird game with us, because we're gonna call you out on the ridiculous things and hypocritical things you're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are Indians are so hypocritical, right? We are so hypocritical that we are supplying fighter jets to Palestine, right? We supplied fighter jets, missiles, bombs, everything to Palestine, and because of that, Palestine has been creating atrocities on Israel through India's help. Oh, guess what? No, that is not happening. You have in fact supplied fighter jet planes to China, who in turn supplied it to Pakistan. So who is being hypocritic here?
right? So there is support, but there is limited support. So that is the statement that India made the very
Um,
next day, which happened to be the appropriate day for making the statement. So it's not in retaliation or response to what happened, but it's also interesting to note that this statement, this message is dated November 2. So clearly, the Prime Minister, this message was formulated a few weeks before the event, and it was signed on November 2, and then it was released on November 29. Yeah. So you can see that India does not recognize Palestine as an independent state or does not support freedom for Palestine, but we support the economic and social development of the Palestinian people with dignity and self-reliance.
Sure, but you have an embassy there, right?
so does 160 odd countries. Oh my god.
That's correct. That doesn't mean anything. Oh, that is so ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah. So that is interesting messaging coming out the very next day. So what we can see here is that there is clear divergence in both nations' views. Yes, Israel does not recognize or deny India's assertion that Kashmir is an integral part of India, which means that Israel doesn't want to comment about the matter. I'm not sure what kind of maps the Israelis put out, world maps or Asia maps, and I wonder what kind of boundaries it shows there.
Yeah, let's chat. What kind of maps do you think Israelis put out, right? Do you want to know what kind of maps Israeli put out? Let's see. Abhijit Chavda sir has made a fantastic video here. Oh, let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah,
Regional.
yeah. So this is Israeli embassies, right? This is Israeli missions around the world, right? This is the map, right? Let's go full screen.
Embassies of Israel. There's this map that they've put out over here.
Let's listen to what Abhijit sir has to say. What is the map? Does Israel recognize Kashmir? Let's see.
Let's zoom into the map, shall we? Shall we look into the zoom in to the map that the Israelis have
Are you ready, chat? Are you ready? Let's zoom into the map.
put on their official website? And there's a whole number of nations over here, colored in various, mostly shades of green. And let's take a look at India in the official map that the Israelis have put forth. This is their official worldview.
Oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? What the hell is this, huh? So according to Israel, I hope you can see the website here, embassies.gov.il, meaning Israel. This is the map that is being shown on the official website of Israel. This is the map which has given, as you can see, the POK and so-called Azad Kashmir entirely given to Pakistan. And here you have Aksai Chin, which belongs to India, is given to China. And they have not even shown the northeastern parts here. I don't know I don't know whether Arunachal is with China or not. But this is the Israeli stance on Kashmir. See, chat, the hypocrisy is palpable. The hypocrisy is palpable. But let's look at what Abhijit sir has to say next.
Let's zoom in and see what India looks like in their map. So
Okay.
if you look here, India is only shown partially, but it shows enough for us to understand their perspective. Look at the map of India. It's a truncated map of India. Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir is shown as part of Pakistan.
Yes, Pakistan occupied Kashmir is shown as part of Pakistan. Chat, did you know this? Tell me in the chat, guys. Did you know this? This is the official version of Israeli people, Israeli government, by the way, Israeli government. This map is from embassies.gov.il.
And not only that, Aksai Chin, which rightfully belongs to India, is shown as part of China.
Slow clap. Guys, are we clapping? Are we clapping on the hypocrisy of the Israelis and the Israeli government? Shall we clap?
They have not showed any dashed lines which indicate territorial disputes. They are simply stating that Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir officially belongs to China. There's no dashed line here. So they in their perspective it belongs to Pakistan.
Yes, it belongs to Pakistan. Let's see what happens to yeah. So this is the entire map that is shown here. In this entire map, Kashmir POK is given to Pakistan, and Aksai Chin is, they have not given to China, and Arunachal Pradesh is also intact, thankfully. But you get the gist of this video, right? So I don't know what hypocrisy that one Israeli girl is saying, but her own government stand on Kashmir is very clear.
I suspect it would.
Yes, Slide Yagami, this is the actual fact that pissed me off, right? And here she is making video and trying to portray India and Israeli as some sort of lost brothers. Do you actually want to know what Israelis think about India? Right? Let's watch this video, right? Let's watch this video. I'm going to share the link with you guys, right? This is the video of what actually Israeli people think about India, right? Again, I don't want to portray or generalize. This video is a very honest video, and it's a slap on India's face, right? India and pro-Israeli Indians, right, who say, oh, Israel is my brother, Israel is my, मैं जान दे दूंगा Israel के लिए. This is what the average Israeli thinks about India, right? Let's see. This is a very honest video. And before I play this video, let's be absolutely, I want to say I love the Israeli people. Just because I'm showing this video does not mean the entire Israeli people are like that, but most of the Israelis, they don't give a damn about India. That's the very cruel fact, right? That's a very hard fact. Nobody gives a damn about India. Israel is one of those countries. Okay. So the title of the video is, obviously, if you can look at the video, Israelis, what do you think about India and Indians? Let's watch this video. Yes, Jay Kumar, I've seen these comments on Twitter under the Naor Gilon's tweets, right? It's very cringe. I look at that video and I cringe with shame. Okay, let's look at the video, right? This is a very honest video of how an ordinary Israeli citizen think about India, right?
מה אתם חושבים על הודו?
מעניינת, אבל בחיים לא הייתי הולכת.
למה?
לא הייתי נוסעת לבקר. לא יודעת, אולי הרי...
Oh, it looks like it is too dirty. This is on the streets of Tel Aviv or Jerusalem.
יותר מדי מלוכלך.
גם הארץ מלוכלכת, אבל בסדר. בתור קנדי, אני...
I say this as a Canadian that Israel is dirty too. Look at a smile.
זה התדמית.
מה?
זה התדמית של הודו כזה מלוכלך.
אוקיי, מה אתה חושב? גם אותו דבר? לא היית נוסע?
לא.
אוקיי.
So no. You have got two people, ordinary people, saying no. India is dirty. They have a very stereotypical mindset about India, right? This is coming from, and of course there are positive people. Not all Israelis are like these two people here, but let's watch the video.
אתה מכיר משהו מהודו? מהודים?
מכיר? קצת אוכל. תרבות קצת, שמענו על זה.
ומה אתה יודע על הודו?
הודו?
כן.
Okay, it is Tel Aviv, apparently Tel Aviv.
באמת אני לא יודע הרבה על הודו, אני יודע רק שזה מקום שאנשים אוהבים לברוח קצת, שיש שם הרבה שקט.
ישראלים, כאילו.
גם. מקום עם הרבה שקט, עולם מדינת...
Okay, so again, the it is a third world country, right?
עולם שלישי?
לא היית, אני מניח.
לא.
אוקיי.
שם
אתה
לא-
רוצה לנסוע לשם?
אני לא.
No, it didn't even take him a second to think about it. He just the direct answer, no, I'm not going to India. No.
לא מתחבר.
You were in India.
Okay, she has apparently visited India. I've seen this video already.
What did you think?
About India?
Yeah.
Wow. India is one of the most incredible.
Hey, Chad, one thing I've realized this, people who have not visited India, right? They have incredibly racist and stereotypical views about India, right? But the people who actually visited India, either they will have an extremely positive view of India or extremely negative view of India. Have you ever noticed like that? Like these people? Like I'm not talking about Israelis in general. I'm talking about foreigners in general. Like the Western people, like Western people in the sense Western Europe and United States, Australia, and all of these kind of people.
Places I've been. Actually, it's, when I was traveling there, it's changed a lot of the way I was thinking about the world.
Yeah. India does that to you.
So what, like, give me an example.
Well, I went.
Yes, true. Light coming, yes.
I flew to India straight after the army. So in the army, I was kind of person, and when I was in India,
Okay, sure.
Would you go?
She's saying very positive things.
אתה יודע משהו? מה אתה חושב על
Let's see what this guy says.
הודו? הודים. אתה יודע משהו?
See, he doesn't think about India. See, this man right here is what 90% of Israelis are. They don't care about India. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like if I go to Bihar and ask them what do you think about Israel, first they're going to ask me, ye Israel ka hai, right? What is this Israel, right? If I go to like at least 70% of the time Indians will say, where is Israel? Like, right? People who have internet, who are tech savvy and all that, who are who looks at news and everything, right? Who knows about geopolitics and stuff, they will know about Israel, right? The percentage of Indians that know about Israel, they're very pro Israelis. So my video, why I am live streaming right now, is to make ordinary Indians, who has internet, who knows about geopolitics and stuff, that Israelis don't care about Indians. This is why my title, are Indians and Israeli really brothers, right?
אתה יודע משהו על הודו?
לא ממש.
היית בהודו?
לא.
לא.
אתה רוצה?
לא. לא נראה לי מעניין.
אוקיי.
הייתי בהרבה מקומות בעולם, אבל לא בהודו. לא נראה לי. סין יותר מעניין.
China looks very, very interesting, right? China, which is having COVID, it looks very interesting.
מה אתה חושב על הודו?
סבבה, אחלה הודו.
היית?
לא, אבל שמעתי, רוצה להיות, זה קרוב.
מה אתה רוצה לעשות בהודו?
תן טיפה, לעשות איזה חודש בגואה.
So he has visited India.
לעשות מה?
להירגע, לנוח. מה זאת אומרת? כמו שנחים בהודו.
היית בהודו? מתי היית בהודו?
הייתי פעמיים בהודו, הייתי ב-2008 וב-2014. 12.
אוקיי, מה חשבת?
מה חשבת?
איך היה?
מושלם.
כן?
מקום
מה?
מדהים.
למה הודו מושלם?
כי קודם כל זה המקום הכי יפה שהייתי בו.
אוקיי.
יש שם מרים, יש שם נופים, מושלם.
באיזה אזור של הודו?
הייתי בצפון. צפון ואנדמן, שזה בטיסה אחרת, זה אי. אנשים שם טובים, התרבות שם יפה. מה שהם מאמינים בו, אני ממש התחברתי לזה. זהו, סך הכל אחלה מקום.
תני לי דוגמה של חוויה. נגיד.
Okay, I don't care about the whole experience.
ענקית, גדולה, שהיא הדמוקרטיה הכי גדולה בעולם,
אתה יודע משהו, כל הכבוד.
יש לה פוטנציאל מאוד מאוד גדול.
היית?
לא.
אתה רוצה לנסוע לשם?
להודו? זה לא בסדר העדיפויות.
אתה יודע משהו אחר או חושב משהו אחר?
זה מדינה מעניינת, התרבות, זה מדינה עם הרבה תרבויות, הרבה עמים, אז אני חושב שזה מעניין להכיר. פשוט יש עוד הרבה מקומות בעולם שכדאי גם לבקר.
מה אתה חושב על הודו?
הודו? מקום יפה.
היית?
לא הייתי, אבל אני מכיר אנשים שהיו בהודו, ראיתי תמונות של הודו. אשמח להגיע לשם.
אמרת שהיית בהודו.
אוקיי.
איך היה?
איך היה?
כן.
אני יודע, קצת היה נחמד, הרבה חופש, אבל גם מאוד לא מסודר שם, לא כמו בארץ, אז קצת לא אהבתי את זה.
כמו מה? תן דוגמה של בלאגן.
מלוכלך.
Yes, light Yakami, terrorism has made India a lot less attractive. I do agree that.
הפתיעו אותך?
הפתיעו אותי, ניסו לעקוץ אותי לפעמים.
מה? You too shit.
Okay, so this guy visited India and he did not like it apparently. So the point is, I'm not trying to again, have this sample space and then say all Israelis hate India or something like that. But majority of Israelis, they don't care about India, right? That is what I'm trying to say here, right?
Would be very similar to what kind of boundaries the Americans recognize. Yeah.
Have you listened to yourself? Have you actually listened to yourself? Because, like, seriously, maps? How about the British maps? Because the British was also mapping this area and your area. Like, we're similar than you think, and
Okay, she says that we are very similar than you think. Are we though? Chat, are we similar to Israeli people? Are we similar?
this is, I don't know if you're trying to be a comedian. It's kind of working right now, but what?
I mean, I don't know why she's trying to say that Abhijit sir is doing comedy here. He has what he's talking makes sense.
Is going on?
When it comes to
Okay.
Kashmir. So the Israelis don't recognize or deny. They have not made a statement of recognizing or denying India's assertion that Kashmir is an integral part of India, and they are not
As we said in the previous, as I've shown you the maps, Israel do not recognize that POK belongs to India. They're literally publishing maps with POK part of Pakistan. By the way, Pakistan does not recognize Israel. Israel does not have an embassy in Pakistan. Still, they have given POK to Pakistan. Now, that's a huge question mark, don't you think?
recognizing the fact that what happened in Kashmir was a genocide.
Do you recognize or deny the fact that my land's supposed to be my people land? And
Yes, 1947, India has said that India supports two-nation theory. Israel belongs to the Jews and Palestine belongs to the Arabs. This has been the consistent stand of India.
people can
I don't know what she's trying to say.
live here happily ever after, but acknowledge the fact that this is the Israeli land. Or do you support Palestine? Do you have an ambassador in Palestine?
We also have an ambassador in Pakistan. Oh my god. That doesn't mean that we are pro-Pakistani.
If yes, you support Palestine. Have you looked at the maps? The maps that the British ruling, when the British came here, they ruled us and then they made the maps. Have you looked at them?
Yes, we are still the line in our border is literally called McMahon line. It is the British guy who drew the line, and we are literally looking at the map of McMahon line. It is the line that demarcates Arunachal Pradesh. Oh my god.
You're a geopolitical person, so
Abhijit Sharma, thank you.
geographic
I hope it was an eye-opener. It was an eye-opener for me too, bro.
is like also a part in the name. Have you? Seriously?
I love how she's trying to smile through this, but I can literally feel that she's annoyed.
So
The
stupid.
governor, the ambassador to India, did not refute Nadav Lapid's claim that the film
Yeah, it's getting repetitive, right?
was propaganda.
Light Yagami.
There is divergence in the views of both the nations. Both the nations know it. Both the nations recognize it. And both the nations work together despite these differences because we have much stronger shared interests. But please remember, my dear friends, viewers, that the India-Israel relationship is not driven by love or friendship or
Exactly,
brother.
exactly. India-Israel relationship is not driven by love, not driven by some brotherly, some long lost brothers, all right? It is driven purely by geopolitics. Our mutual interest converge at points, and because of that, we are working towards that mutually agreed junctions where we are satisfied that if I work with this country, I'm going to get something in return. It's mutual interest. We don't have some, Israelis are not our long lost brothers or anything like that, right? I hate it when Indians say, oh, मैं Israel के लिए जान दे दूंगा and all that. It literally, yeah, I've seen comments of people who have their profile pic as Israeli flag. Like, I'm not even kidding you, chat. There are comments that I've read where Indians, they have an Israeli flag as their profile pic. Like, how stupid can you be?
Brotherhood or shared values or shared culture. There is this incredible, fantastical belief in India, among the Indian people, that the Israelis and the Jews love India. You know, there must be many Jews and Israelis who like India. No doubt about it. There must be many. And there may be a small minority of them who may possibly love India. But the truth is that most Israelis and Jews overall are at best indifferent about India.
Exactly. At best, they are ambivalent. At best, they don't care. Israelis don't go around having India as their profile picture in Twitter or in YouTube. They don't go around, going to Indian ambassador's Twitter account and saying, "Oh, love from Israel, love from Israel." They don't go around doing this shit. Only Indians go around doing this shit. Lightagami, yes, me too. I actually thought they were some kind of group having their profile. Yeah, exactly. It's stupid, and it's frankly very. I'm ashamed that my fellow Indians have a foreigner as has a foreign country's flag as their profile pic. The only profile pic, if you're going to have a flag as your profile pic, should be the flag of India. Period. Your loyalty belongs to the country, to Indian country. Your loyalty does not lie with your long lost brother, whatever you think Israel is.
Oh, here we go. This is why he's saying don't twist my words.
Oh my god, I swear to god, she's triggered now.
Because now, after all the, compliments and stuff about us, now comes the lies. So
Tell me one lie that Abhijit sir has said.
okay, let's hear it.
Oh, it's finished. Part 3. Okay, there are still 2 more parts to go. I don't know, chat. Should I continue this headache?
There is this incredible delusion in India that most
Oh my
Israelis
God.
and most Jews love India the way Indians love Israel.
No, this is why I'm always saying that. You guys are always love to say how much you love Israel, and we love to show how much we love India.
Yeah, her Israeli counterpart came to India and said Kashmir Files is a propaganda. That is how they show their love for India, apparently.
For example, we love to travel to your country. A lot of our music has Indian influence in them. So I think we're more about the actions.
What? I mean, I'm here speaking English, which is a foreign language. That does not mean I'm wearing jeans. I'm wearing some Western clothes. That does not mean that I'm pro British, or I'm pro United States, or I'm pro Anglo-Saxon countries. Like, what kind of logic is that?
But that's just us. But if you want to try to say that we don't like your
Jay, thank you bro for staying.
country,
Let's go through the torture. Let's go through the torture.
go ahead. Let's hear what
Abhijit Sharma says, "Don't continue, bro."
you have
Okay. I'm just gonna fast forward
say.
these things, right?
This is delusion. This is a delusional belief, right? It is not the case.
Okay, Lightagami, okay.
Now, we have seen the example of one person, Nadav Lapid, who clearly is very strongly anti-India. He comes to India as an honored guest, and then he indulges in this sort of behavior.
But he's also anti-Israeli, so that's ridiculous.
I assure you, he's not the only person who is an India hater or strongly anti-India. There are many such people. Like in any nation, there will be anti-nationals and people like that. So there will be many other Israelis also like this. Let me give you a different example, a historical example. Uh,
No, why historical example? I don't understand this. This is just like okay, I saw the comedian Virdas, okay? I really enjoyed his comedy, and then people told me, you know, he's an anti-nationalist. You know, he hate India.
I mean, to be fair, if Virdas went to Israel and said that Holocaust that does not exist, I'll be the one, putting out a sorry video to all the Israeli Jews.
And I didn't know
But guess what? Indians don't do that.
it. So based on like, if I only knew one person, I can say all comedians hate India? No, right? So what are you trying to compare now? I'm so confused. Like this is, I thought I would be like angry at one point, but I'm just like really confused about what conclusions he's trying to get. And the Does Israel Loves India reality check for Indians, the title is just like, I'm really confused about what you're trying to say. Are you trying to cause drama between Israel and India? Are you trying to say that we don't like India? That's your point.
No, Abhijit sir is trying to say that geopolitics, countries work on geopolitics and it does not work on emotional attachment with each other. That is Abhijit sir's point, which she has not honestly got. I don't know why.
As a geopolitical person or whatever, honestly, I don't like geopolitical things, but
अभिजीत शर्मा कान खोना आ गया उस लड़की की बात सुन के.
you can clearly see this is not working for you because civilians are talking to each other and they can hear the reality when we talk to each other, not when our governments are talking to each other. We don't care anymore what our government is saying us, to who to love and who to hate and all that. We're communicating, we're talking. Your government did not acknowledge Israel, and still Israeli people still love India.
What? Did she just say that your government does not acknowledge Israel?
Even when
Wait
your
a minute,
government
wait a minute.
not acknowledge Israel and who to hate and all that. We're communicating, we're talking. Your government did not acknowledge Israel, and still Israeli
What? Your government do not acknowledge Israel? I mean, at this point, she's not even making sense.
people still love India, even when your government told your people to not like us. So what are you trying to do?
Your government told people not to like us. Oh my god, what the hell is she saying? Chat, are you listening to her?
If you're honestly trying to make love India, even when your government told your people to not like us.
Even when your government told your people to not like us. What?
So what are you
Me too, bro, J. Kumar. We are all losing brain cells here.
trying to do? If you're honestly trying to make
Okay, let me skip
about
through her
Israelis,
ranting.
a long video, but let's continue.
Let's
of
continue.
not somebody who's anti-India, but a different kind of person. So first of all, you all know, I hope you all know if you've been watching my channel, about what happened to the Romani people at the same time as the Holocaust was happening
Yeah.
in Europe.
They also were a part of the Holocaust. People tried to murder everyone who's not from the Aryan race or try to enslave them.
Nazis, under the direction and leadership of the very evil person Adolf Hitler, murdered I don't know how many million Jews. We know that. This was an extermination program. It was a genocide. And this did not happen only to the Jewish people.
No, of course not. We never said that it's just like only Jewish people. Also, everyone who was not in the same party got killed. Also, everyone who was part of the gay, lesbian, bi, stuff like this, they were also killed. The Rumi's people were killed. Like, it's not, we never said it's just us. We said that we're focusing on our pain.
Okay, so remember, chat, she said that it is never just about us. There are Romani Indians. Romanis, if you don't know who Romanis are, Romanis are the Indians who were taken as slaves by the Islamic invaders and they left them at Europe. And even now, Romanis are persecuted in European countries, right? They're not treated very well. So the Nazis also did these atrocities on the Romani Indians, right?
It happened to the Romani people as well. The Romani people are of Indian origin. They're Indian origin people who live
Romanis are of Indian origin.
in Europe, who have been persecuted horribly in Europe for 1,000 years. Incredible racism and persecution against them, which still continues today. the Romani people. So the Romani people were also targeted for annihilation by the Nazis because they represented, the Romani people represented the inconvenient fact that the true Aryans are not white people with blue eyes and blonde hair. The true Aryans are brown people. Like,
Chad, I just want you to listen to this. The Nazis persecuted the people who did not look like white, who did not have blonde hair, and who did not have blue eyes, and who are obviously not Christians, right? So the criteria is, if you are not blonde hair, if you do not have blue eyes, if you're not white skinned, you are going to be exterminated. So Romani Indians did not fit into any of these categories. You have to keep that in the back of your mind, because it will come later on, right?
the Indians and the Iranians, right? So the Nazis sought to exterminate the Romani people as well. This is a fact. See that on the screen. Historical amnesia, the Romani Holocaust. And we don't even know how many Romani people died because nobody has bothered to look into this matter, because the Romani people are brown people, they don't matter.
What? I'm sorry. Why do you think the Jewish people know how many Jewish people lost their life there? Because we looked, we searched for our brothers and sisters. I don't understand that. You can also do the same thing. You can actually go and search in the records. They have the Nazis did a really good job keeping records of everything, of every person they killed. You can go and search that. You're complaining about the fact that your people didn't do a job, like that you didn't look that up.
No, Abhijit sir is not complaining that we didn't do the job. Abhijit sir is saying that not many people know that Romanis were also killed, because there are zero movies about Indian Romanis who were also exterminated. Today we associate Holocaust with Jews. Nobody else comes into that picture. That is what Abhijit sir is trying to say. Here she's twisting Abhijit sir's words by saying that Indians are lazy, we are not doing research. No, that is not what he said.
Why is it everyone else's fault that you guys were too lazy to see what happened to your...
Oh my god, she literally called us too lazy because apparently we're not doing enough research on Romani Indians. Whereas Abhijit sir said that Holocaust is exclusively known as the persecution of the Jews. That is what Abhijit sir said. Not many people know about Romani Indians, right? If you go on a street of Europe and ask them what do you know about the Holocaust, most of them are going to say it is about the Jews who were killed by Nazis. They are not going to say Romani Indians were also killed, right?
brothers and sisters. And how are you trying to blame me for that also?
No. Abhijit sir is not trying to blame you. Lady, please.
Wait, let's see.
They are gypsies, right? So a whole range of figures are thrown around, from 20,000 to 200,000 to 2 million. We don't know how many people died because no historian has really bothered to investigate this.
Abhijit Sharma, really? You didn't know this? Guess what? That is what Abhijit sir is trying to say. Not many people know that Romani Indians are persecuted. They are also taken to the gas chambers and killed. That is what Abhijit sir is trying to say. This girl is saying that, we are lazy because we don't do enough research. No, the entire world associates Holocaust with the Jews. Not many people know that brown-skinned Indians also died.
Is properly
exterminated.
Systematically with facts and data.
Okay, guys, let's see you doing that. Also, that is terrible. I do acknowledge the fact that million people died. Not only Jewish people, like I said, this is terrible, and this is why we need to make sure people will not be so pro-nationalist and against and full of hate to everyone else. This is why conversations between people are so important, because the second you get to know other people and you realize that bottom line, we're all still humans, then things like this will not happen. The fact that people are knowing each other and can say, yeah, I know he looks different, I know he has a different language and stuff, but he's still
But is it though? If she is transported to 1939 Germany, will she stand out? Chat. What do you think, guys? You can Jews today in Israel, they identify themselves as a Western country. Literally, they identify themselves as Western country, right? If you look at the people who are in power, you would not be able to distinguish them from ordinary Germans, right? That is why Hitler literally implemented a rule where the Star of David, Jews needs to wear the Star of David in order to identify themselves as Jews while they are outside. That is why Hitler implemented that rule. So I don't know what she's trying to say. Romani Indians, on the other hand, they're easily persecuted because they cannot hide among the Germans. They cannot hide, so they are easily persecuted.
He's still my friend, or I still know who he is. It's less possible that you will hate someone if you know who that person is. Like, and the Romy, whatever happened to them was also terrible. Whatever happened to them, the same thing that happened to us. This is absolutely terrible.
But it is a fact there was a horrific Holocaust of the Romani.
Chat, wait a minute. The final cherry on the top of the cake is there. Abhijit sir is going to tell the cherry on the cake, and she's saying sorry and all that, right? Look at how her tone changes.
People as well, right? The Romani people call it the Porajmos or the Kalitras or whatever. They have their own word for what happened to them. It was horrific. There are so many stories in there which I will not go into today, but there was a Romani Holocaust. Now, there is a section of Jewish people, not only Israelis but Jewish people, who belong to what is called the uniqueness camp.
Uniqueness camp. Remember, chat, uniqueness camp.
So now he's talking about the entire Jewish people, not just Israelis.
Yes, entire Jewish people. Yes. Listen. Listen how her tone changes now.
The uniqueness camp. The uniqueness camp is a school of Jews who have the view that the Nazi genocide of the Jewish people was unique and that the killing of the Gypsy people was a mere afterthought.
Oh, drum roll. It is Holocaust is unique to the Jews, meaning Holocaust should only be associated with the Jews because after all, the biggest victim card is played by the Jews, and whereas the brown-skinned Indians, who also killed, kisko fark padta hai? They are brown-skinned, nobody cares, right? This is an actual, Abhijit sir is actually referring to an actual paper, a research paper that cites that Jewish Americans actively campaigned against the inclusion of Romani Indians into the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. Period. This is what American Jews have done.
Which means that the Jews are special, and the real thing, the main thing was the.
I mean, why is she smiling? I don't understand why she's smiling.
The unique thing was the killing of the Jews, and the killing of the Gypsies was merely an afterthought. It is not to be taken very seriously. This is called the uniqueness camp.
Okay.
The uniqueness camp. Let's see her logic, how she's going to play around this. Let's see.
Okay, this is what actually happened. When, first of all, if you read Mein Kampf, if you actually listen to Hitler's speeches, if you actually Google, you can Google images of things that happened back in the day. You could see that there are a lot of signs of like when he came on top and like when Hitler became the prime minister and whatever. A lot of stores put signs of no Jews and dogs allowed to this store and stuff like this. Every woman who slept with a Jewish man had to have walk with a sign, and people made fun of her. This is something that happened to us before the Holocaust, before they started to kill us systematically. Did the same thing happen to the Rumi people?
So, Chad, did you listen to what she said? She is saying that the Germans had signboards outside their shops and outside their businesses saying Jews and dogs are not allowed, right? This is the sign that the Germans put. And then she's trying to find a logic that says that the Germans did not write Romani Indians are not allowed, right? This is like saying if a white supremacist in the United States says blacks are not allowed in the restaurant, and then a brown Indian goes in, do you think that the white supremacist is going to say, oh, I did not write brown Indian in my sign outside? Come on, Indian guy, let's have dinner together. Do you think do you think a white supremacist will behave like that? the Nazis' criteria was that anybody who did not have blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, basically so-called Aryan features, they are not true Aryans and they deserve to be wiped out. And Romani Indians, they stand out the most. You cannot hide among the Germans also, Romani Indians. So according to her own logic, Romani Indians apparently dined with the Nazis because the Nazis, the people who had signboards outside their restaurants saying that Jews and dogs are not allowed, they are apparently inviting brown Indians into their restaurants. Do you understand the logic here? I'm going to show you another here. So where is it? So this is the historical, yeah, see. So this news article is this news article says in 1960s, I guess 1964, right? In 1964 you have an Indian parliamentarian called Ram Manohar Lohia, right, who went to a restaurant in Jackson, Mississippi in the United States of America, because in 1960s there was a segregation law in the United States that said that white and black cannot remain together. So in the restaurant of Jackson, Mississippi in the United States, there will be a sign that says blacks are not allowed, right? Blacks are not allowed. Ram Manohar Lohia, who is a member of parliament from Nehru's, he was a member of parliament during Nehru era when Nehru was a prime minister. He went to the restaurant and he got arrested. He got arrested by this cop. This is a picture of him getting arrested, right? This is a picture of him getting arrested. But according to this lady, just because the Germans did not have a signboard that said that that Romani Indians are not allowed, apparently Romani Indians were not persecuted. This is her logic. Like, listen to her logic very carefully, right? This is what she's actually trying to say.
Okay, this is what actually happened. When, first of all, if you read Mein Kampf, if you actually listen to Hitler's speeches, if you actually Google, you can Google images of things that happened back in the day. You could see that there are a lot of signs of like when he came on top and like when Hitler became the prime minister and whatever, a lot of stores put signs of no Jews and dogs allowed to this store and stuff like this. Every woman who slept with a Jewish man had to have walk with a sign, and people made fun of her. This is something that happened to us before the Holocaust, before they started to kill us systematically. Did the same thing happen to the Rumi people?
So did the same thing happen to Romani people? What do you think, chat? This guy, this Ram Manohar Lohia, our Indian parliament, he got arrested in United States, right? What do you think the sign outside the restaurant was? Do you think the sign outside the restaurant was Indians are not allowed? No. The sign outside the restaurant was blacks are not allowed. In a restaurant that said blacks are not allowed. Similarly, in Nazi Germany, as she said, the Nazis hanged out a sign that says the Jews and dogs are not allowed. She's implying that the restaurant does not allow Jewish people, but will allow a brown-skinned Indian inside the restaurant. Like, do you see the logic? This guy, our Indian parliamentarian, got arrested in Jackson, Mississippi, when segregation law was intact. But according to this woman, this did not happen with the Romani Indians apparently. Look at how she tried to whitewash this, right? She literally tried to whitewash the things, the atrocities of Nazis on Romani Indians. This is very low even for her.
The Romani people? No. Now I'm not saying it happened afterthought, like their murder was like afterthought. However, yes, the Jewish people were not, and if you're trying to say like we were special, like, but
Yes, Light Yakami, yes, this is craziness. I'm I'm ashamed. I'm shocked that this is coming from an Israeli girl. It's coming from an Israeli citizen, right? That how easily she said that, oh, we are persecuted because the victim card is exclusively reserved for the Jews, right? Romani Indians तो गए भाड़ में, right? Romani Indians गए भाड़ में, brown skin Indians गए भाड़ में, victimhood is exclusively for us. This is what apparently she's saying.
But we were special by people trying to kill us. Do you want to be special like that? What are you trying to say? And also the fact that you now talking about the.
Okay, guys, I'm done with this. I'm having a great headache watching her. Guys, let's look at some chats, guys, before I end the stream. I hope you understood why I did the stream, because apparently she has 45,200 subscribers. I'm 100% sure that 99% of her subscribers are Indian simp who says love Israel, Israel is my brother, Israel के लिए मर जाऊंगा, Israel के लिए जान दे दूंगा, वगैरह वगैरह. I'm 100% sure that 99% of our subscribers are those crazy Indians, right? But what I'm looking at the comments, right? Let's look at the comments, right? Kumar Ankit says, sadly, by showing this behavior, you're proving him right. हमारे इंडियन जाग रहे हैं, guys. Plazy learns. हमारे इंडिया जाग रहे हैं. Peter Dinklage. Oh, come on. He didn't say that Israelis don't love India. You only mean to say that most of the Israelis are indifferent towards India. Yes, Israelis are indifferent towards India. The way you have spoken this maybe proves Abhijit right. Romanis are not exactly Indians. Well, Romanis are Indians. Sushma Swaraj literally went to the Romanis in Europe and says that, we are going to look after the Romanis, right? Sushma Swaraj, when she was the external affairs minister, she said that. Why do you always feel that what you say and what you think are right? At least try to understand the point of view of the other person. Yes. Alice says, like whatever she is, she tried to whitewash the genocide of the Romanis as if it's nothing, as if victimhood is exclusively reserved for her, apparently, right? So I just want to end this stream by going to the original video.
Before
right? Right, this is Abhijit sir's video, right? If you're watching this stream, support Abhijit sir, right? I am giving it a huge like. I have subscribed. Oh, I have not subscribed. I've subscribed and have put the notifications. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe to Abhijit sir, right? He's doing a fabulous job. Whatever I've learned, I've did my own some research also. Abhijit sir is a huge source of knowledge, good knowledge, right? Let's look at the comments. I've come to the Abhijit sir's video. I want to share the video also, right? If you want to learn, please go to this channel. Please support Abhijit sir, right? Let's look at the comments first. Just so people know, Israel supports Azerbaijan. Yes, chat. Did you know Israel supports Azerbaijan, who is anti-India, who along with Turkey? That is why only national interests matter. There is nothing called friendship. Acharya Kautilya already taught us this millennia ago. Yes, I agree. Indians should consider Israel as nothing more than one of the economic partners of India. Nothing more, nothing less. I agree, 100%. Vishakha says it's okay to admire Israel. Israel and its people are truly admirable, but let's not simp for any country. Yes, I do agree with that. So chat, what do you think, guys? I think I've already streamed for 1 hour and 45 minutes. It has been a huge it's almost been 2 hours, right? 1 hour 45 minutes of stream. Jay Kumar, Abhijit Sharma, if you want to ask me anything, please do ask me, right? Thank you for staying till 1 hour and 45 minutes, guys. Jay Kumar, do message me if you want to collab. Plazy learns, people are spitting facts in the comments, bro. Yes, bro. Jay, people are spitting Facts. One thing I've noticed, right? After this fiasco, right, people are beginning to understand that, everything is about self-interest. Right? Everything is about self-interest. Bro, as I said, Light Yagami says, bro, as I said, she's just trying to create some shield for her country and her allegations are baseless. Her homework is not done. Yes, she's not only trying to make baseless allegations, she's being very insensitive towards the Romani Indians who lost their lives. अभिजीत शर्मा मेरा पिछला मैसेज देखिए प्लीज़. व्हाट वाज योर पिछला मैसेज ब्रो? भाई हमें एक ग्रुप बनाना चाहिए जहाँ हम ऐसे नॉलेज एक दूसरे के साथ शेयर करें, जिससे हम अपने फ्रेंड सर्कल में और बाकी जगह लोगों को इन सब के बारे में अवेयर कर सके. आप क्या सोचते हो? हाँ ब्रो, यस वी कैन डू दिस. I would recommend sharing Abhijit sir's video clips on WhatsApp groups, right? We can collab also. If you have a YouTube channel, we can collab, we can discuss all of these things, bro. I completely agree with you, bro. Abhijit Sharma. Where to message you, Ankur? uh if you have a YouTube channel, you can message me on YouTube, bro. Otherwise, my email is visible, I think. You can message me on YouTube, bro. My at is at rampage og. You can tag me here, bro. Hey uncle, let's create a Telegram. Sure, bro. Send me the link. Let's create Discord server, maybe. Yes. No DC is for Chads. Lazy learns. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. If you have not clicked on the like button, please do click on the like button, guys. And if you have not subscribed, do subscribe. Lazy Learns, Light Yagami, J Kumar, you have been with me since 1 hour and 45 minutes. Thank you so much for your support. Abhijit Sharma too. I hope you can share my video and share Abhijit sir's video also. Till then, right? We'll see you next time. We'll see you next week, guys, for another video. Thank you for joining.